just now that the matchup is set, just what are your overall thoughts on facing the Warriors here in the second round?
It's another great opportunity for us. It's going to be a huge challenge. They play at a very high level, championship level, well coached. They move the ball. They play fast. They're physical. They're tough. They've got everything. So, like I said, it'll be a great challenge for us. And we've been practicing, kind of preparing for the last few days. Just not knowing who you're going to get, but a little bit of Houston, a little bit of Golden State. So we've had a good week to kind of prepare.
How much focus does it require defensively with all of their off-ball movement, not just Steph, but just it seems like the way they run everyone through screens and things?
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. I think we have the guys who, athletically can, match the speed they play, the physicality they play with, but can we sustain it for 24 seconds on the shot clock? Can we sustain, not ball watching and, staying attached to the shooters and understanding personnel, who's in and who's out of the game, because there'll be different coverages for different guys. So it's going to take a lot of mental preparation for that, and being able to, like I said, be consistent with it throughout the games.
2 years ago, you guys were talking about that challenge of like switching coverages based on personnel and things like that, how much of a challenge it was. How better is this team able to juggle that within a game, like kind of switching things up and depending on different lineups and what the other team may be deploying as well?
Yeah. I think we've grown a lot, and I think a lot of our young guys have grown a lot. I think Ant's gotten a lot better at it, and I think Jaden has always been a great defender, but has gotten a lot better at it. Rudy as an anchor, his communication has gotten better as we've gone on as a team throughout the season, and implementing our guys like Julius, Dante, Nikhil, like everybody's been kind of gradually improving, on that end of the floor as far as communicating through things and being able to switch up on, one play or two plays difference, just being able to draw different coverages and execute that on the fly.
Mike, can you have an appreciation for just the theater behind the series? I mean, it seems like once you guys advanced, a lot of people were like, okay, Wolves, Warriors, Draymond, and Jimmy's return. Can you have an appreciation for that?
I might not have the best appreciation for the whole Jimmy thing because I wasn't here. That predated me, but I do, just as far as, I know what it means to the city. I know, just the Golden State itself, just that whole entity of it, just the organization, the success they've had, Draymond and, the choking people out, the stuff like that. Like, I mean, we've got all that going on. We know it, and, and it's exciting. It's exciting. I know there's going to be a lot of buzz. That's what people want to see. That's what we came here for. It's why we want to play this deep in the playoffs. You're going to end up running into teams that you'll draw those matchups.
Like, nobody was here. Like, none of the players were here for any of the Jimmy stuff. And I know here it feels like a really big deal at the time. But, like, as a player playing in a different part of the country, like, do you pay much attention to that stuff when that's going on?
I honestly didn't at the time. You got so much going on wherever you're at the moment. So, so I don't know what was true or what's not or what happened. So.
Could you ask for us?
I don't know about that either. That's not none of my business.
Mike, last year you guys went through that where you went Game 7 with Denver, and then 2 days later you're playing Dallas, and you're a little gassed. Golden State, I mean, Curry sounded gassed after last night's game. Do you want to amp it up right away and try to do something in Game 1 because you know what that's like to still have that hangover from Game 7?
Well, yeah, you want to put a lot of emphasis on Game 1s regardless. We know what it's like to come off of Game 7, physical, series, and it can be tough. But those guys over there they're different. They've been built for these type of runs. So we're not, going to tread lightly at all. We're going to be ready to go. We're going to expect them to, give us their best energy and best shot, right out the gate, because that's what they do. So. We want to try to take advantage of our home court, and we're going to start with Game 1.
Talk about the defensive discipline. Like, it does take 5 to guard Steph and everything that they can do off of that. Is that always kind of been the last level for this defense to reach, to be able to do that type of stuff against those types of teams that really play with a lot of movement for the entirety of shot clocks, and even when they push in transition and whatnot?
Yeah, I do think so. I think this series would be a good look at how much we need to improve or have improved. on all that off-ball movement, the five-man, five out spacing, the rolling bigs, the double teams that you have to, implement against guys like Steph. And we normally, in the past have done good with ISO ball and, guys bring up the court. We've got great individual defenders, but can we continue to do that as a team? Can we, guard multiple actions and do it at a high level? So that'll be, what we're looking to do.
Thank you.